Hello everyone, welcome back. We are coming to a very special Parsha this week. Parsha is Beshalach, the Parsha that Am Yisrael has the miracle of splitting the sea. We're coming to a very special Shabbos of the 10th and the 11th of Shvat, when the previous Rebbe passed away, the Rebbe taking leadership. And how do we all bring us together? In the Parsha of this week, by the end of the Parsha, we're learning the story of Amalek, or in English they call it Amalekites, and how they came to fight Am Yisrael right after splitting of the sea. And as we know the story, the entire world was shooken up. As we read it in the Az Yashir, they were all giving great respect, great fear from Am Yisrael, from Hashem. And then Amalek came and he cooled everyone off, and he said, there's nothing to worry about. We can fight the Jews. And as we know, they were the first one to came to fight the Jews after the time of splitting the sea, when the whole world gave great respect to Am Yisrael, great respect to Hashem. And this is why the nation of Amalek called the nation Asher Karcha Baderech. Karcha means the cooled off, the excitement, the cooled off, the big fear that people had from Jews. They cooled it all off. And this is what Hashem said, that because they did so, they are the enemies of God. And God said, Macho Timchet Zecher Amalek, we have to erase the Amalek. And as we know today, we do not have Amalek. At least we don't know who they are or where they are. But in the spiritual sense, Amalek is still there. And Amalek is the idea that we all have in ourselves, that sometimes we like cool off something. What do you mean cool off from something? Is when we dare to do a mitzvah, when we dare to do something for Hashem, comes the Amalek into me and he says, cool off, don't get so excited. You don't have to do it with such great enthusiasm, with such great devotion. If you do it halfway is good too. You don't have to have that excitement. That's the Amalek in us that always wants to cool us off. When we do a mitzvah, the Amalek says, you can do it as small as possible. You don't have to overblow it. You don't have to overdo it. And that's what Hashem says, Macho Timchet Zecher Amalek. We have to erase the Amalek in us. We have to erase, when it comes by us, the Yetzer Hara, and it tells us, cool off. That has to be erased. A Jew has to be warm and devoted and to do a mitzvah to the max with the greatest enthusiasm, with the greatest simcha, and hidur mitzvah, to do it more than even what you are being requested. As we know the famous story, I remember I read that in the olden days when there was a big war between Hasidim and the opposition, the Misnagdim, and a few Hasidim by mistake, they got stuck in a community where the Misnagdim were. They didn't really know what Hasidim is all about, but they knew Hasidim, this is people that we have to fight with, and they grabbed them and they took them in to a cell. And they went to the rabbi and asked the rabbi, we got Hasidim, what do we do with them? So their rabbi tells them a very cute story. The rabbi tells him, I don't know what Hasidim is, but just look, how are they doing the mitzvahs? Do they do tzitzis? Do they do tefillin? They do this stuff. So they came back to the rabbi, and they said to the rabbi, tefillin they do, and big ones. As we know, the tradition of Chabad is we wear big tefillin. Tzitzis they do, and they wear big tzitzis. As we know, the opinion of the Baal Rebbe that we have to have wool, very wide tzitzis. They're not only doing mitzvahs, they're doing, they called it big, large. Says if that's the case, just let them go. We should be like them too. Because the idea of us is to fight the idea of Amalek, to fight the idea that a mitzvah, you do a small mitzvah. Yeah, you can wear tzitzis, but there's tzitzis that are very small. You can wear tefillin, but it doesn't have to be the best quality. No, we have to fight Amalek. Everything we have to do in the best quality. And based on that, just a very short story with the Rebbe that I just heard this week, that when the Rebbe was in France and his mother was there, and the Rebbe came into her place to visit her. When he was walking out from her place, he walked out and it looked like he was like setting up the chairs, fixing the stuff on the wall, and slowly like this he walked out. With them there was another chassid, and he was like wondering why is the Rebbe fixing everything while he's walking out. So when the Rebbe walks out, he's asking the Rebbe's mother, and he says, why, while he walked out, he fixed the table and the chairs and everything around, and make sure everything is good, and this is the way he walked out. So the Rebbe's mother tells his chassid, he wasn't busy fixing chairs. He never wants to walk out that I should see his back, because since I know him, I never saw his back. He always walking out from frontwards, never from his back. But he didn't want it should be so obvious. That's why he makes it to be like he fixes chairs, fixes the wall, just as should look like this, that he's fixing something, but really he just wanted to walk back from me, not I should see his back. Because his whole life, since I know him, she says, he never walked away from me that I should see his back. Look at it, one mitzvah of honoring his mother. One mitzvah. We all do it. We all have to do it. But you can do it, and you can do it. The Rebbe's mitzvah honoring his mother was that she should never even see his back. That's the great honor of honoring your mother. That's the mitzvah of kibud avayim. Well, that's the point we're trying to say. Amalek tells us, yes, you have to do a mitzvah, you have to honor your parents, but there's a lot of shortcuts, a lot of loopholes. We have to fight the Amalek. We have to erase the Amalek. A mitzvah we have to do fully. When it comes to honor your mother, the Rebbe teaches us, we gotta do it in the fullest measure. He wouldn't even show his back ever to his mother. Maybe that's unrespectful too. Every self a good Shabbos. Let's all erase the Amalek and bring together for the great day of Yud Shvat, and B'mitzvah Hashem Mashiach should come even before.